Alright, so in this week's Coach's Corner, we are doing our first ever in-person interview with my very good friend and trainer, Samantha McChesney. She owns and operates her own fitness studio and has been in the field for a long time. So before we dive into some of the questions that we're going to go over with her today, she's going to tell us a little bit more about how she got into fitness in the first place and how she has arrived at where she is at now.
Hi everyone. So I started in the health and fitness industry when I was in high school. I started cheerleading. I played softball growing up. And then when I got to college, I had really bad seizures. No one knew that I had them. I was the only one that knew when they were coming on too, so people were like, "Are you sure you have them?" And I'm like, "No, it's a real thing." And then I had to quit cheerleading. It was the worst thing ever. You know, my team ended up winning nationals that year too. And so instead of being an athlete, I decided to go to the coaching side of things. So that's when I went into coaching at various high schools. I coach at Walpole High School now. And then after I graduated from Bridgewater State, I said, I'm gonna open a fitness studio, and this was like 2 months after I graduated, and it ended up just hitting it off running, and it's been amazing ever since.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about the transition from when the business started now to what it's looking, or so when the business started then to what it's looking like now. I know you just got a facility that's tripled in size, members have blown out, boot camps, one-on-one training, working with cheerleading athletes too. So tell me a little bit more kind of about what your business looks like now compared to when you started and kind of how you're helping people.
So most people plan to have, you know, a new business venture.
Yeah.
I kind of just saw a space that I liked and said, hey, I'm going to start a fitness studio right off the bat. So there's no prior planning whatsoever. So day one, I posted all over social media and tried to get some clients. And by the end of the first week, I already had like 20 clients, which was great. Then the business ended up growing. I was in one space in Norwood for a year and a half. It was amazing, but it was small. So it was about 1,200 square feet. It was in the back of another business, but I still wanted a place that it was perfect for a starting place. So no complaints there. Then after being there for a year and a half, the business that I was attached to was expanding. So they were like, you have 30 days to be out of here. So that was a hit, and I just worked with whatever came my way. I was outside, working out outside with my clients for 3 months, here actually, and then my new space should be ready in about 2 weeks. It's 3 times the size. It's amazing. I'm adding cheerleading into it too, so it's a whole new business venture there as well. But all new clients this whole summer. I'm having like a $30 for 30 days deal coming up to try and get new clients in that way too. So I'll get them in the door. It'll be good.
So as you can obviously tell by now, Samantha has a lot on her plate at any given time. On top of the businesses that we're talking about now, she also operates other businesses with animals and travel, and she has a ton on her plate all the time. Still manages to manage her clients well, still manages to get her own workouts in. So one of the things that we're going to focus on today is how she is able to get her workouts in and how she is able to also help her busiest clients get workouts in when their schedule is jam-packed. So what are some strategies that you suggest for somebody who has a very busy schedule and feels like they don't have time to work out?
So everyone automatically thinks that you need at least a 45-minute workout, and if you're not sweating or breathing super heavy or super sore after your workout, then it's not a good workout. But if you're in the field, you obviously know those aren't good indicators of a good workout. So the past usually I do like an hour plus workouts, but it all depends on how long my rest periods are and blah, blah. But in the past month, with trying to get the new space ready and growing the other 2 businesses and everything at the same time, I have literally been doing max 20-minute workouts. Like, I haven't gone over 20-minute workout in the past month, and I basically just go hard in those 20 minutes. I lift heavy, I run fast, I do some sort of HIIT workout, whatever I can get in. And even if it's not a style like that and I'm just doing some sort of like strength training or body weight, I make sure that they're slow, controlled movements, but I'm still getting the good benefit out of it. But in a busy schedule, the first thing people think about is I don't have time to go work out, I don't have time to meal prep, I don't have time to, plan my meals ahead. Well, yeah, I don't either, and I understand that I really don't have time, but you have to make just a little window of time instead of watching, 20 minminutes of The Bachelor tonight. Instead, I'm going to make sure
Shots fired.
I love The Bachelor. I'm going to do 20 minutes of, a body weight workout in my living room or outside. I always like to do outside. It's just better for me. So the more that you can a lot is certain time span, even if it's 5 minutes, literally take that 5 minutes to yourself, figure out what you want to do, even if it's a good stretch, like make sure that you get something, and you can literally stretch in bed.
Sure.
You can do a plank in your bed. You know, you can do squats on a chair in your house. You can do push-ups on your countertop. You can make sure that you have a workout anywhere. And my biggest thing is making sure that before and after class, I do 10 minutes and 10 minutes, or after class I'll stick around for 20 minutes, or before personal training I'll just, you know, come a little bit earlier. I'll eat Cheerios as like a breakfast while working out, whatever gets it done. And it's been great since I haven't lost strength. I mean, I've definitely gained endurance because I've been doing a lot more running than I usually do, which is good in the long run, but yeah, it's worked. It hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So you can hear a lot of the things that we talk about in the group, as in like the workout doesn't necessarily have to be an hour. You don't necessarily have to crush yourself, and you can almost reverse engineer, as Sam does so well, the workouts to the schedule. So if she has a session and technically she wouldn't have time for a full-length workout, she may squeeze a little in before and a little in after. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that the workout has to be an hour, has to be brutally hard. Just look at the gaps in advance in your calendar, see when you can piece together 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there.
Lock it in your calendar, write it in. I mean, I do. I write 20 minutes, this is all you have, make sure you get it in then.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Yeah, it's if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist, is a quote that I really like, because it becomes so flexible, where maybe if Samantha did not have that in her calendar, it becomes very easy to say like, oh, maybe I'll do that workout a little later, not realizing if it's not in the calendar, she has 7 sessions later and can't reasonably get it in. So calendar makes a big difference. Now, one of the other things I wanted to dive into today was the idea that you do not need to feel crushed during a workout. And we obviously both understand why it's tempting to feel like that's the sign of a good workout, that like if I don't feel exhausted, like I left it all out on the gym floor, it wasn't a good workout. But there are some better metrics, there are some other things that you're going to want to look at. So if you could tell us a little bit more about what you personally look for in your own workouts, and then within your clients' workouts, as kind of metrics of progress or things that are the sign of a successful workout, that would be awesome.
So my biggest thing is strength. I put strength workouts in everything. Everything is always strength-based. And then we toss in a little cardio because, you know, that's good for you too.
That's not bad.
So my biggest thing is strength workouts. When I see clients that have been coming to me, you know, from 2 years now, and when they first started, they were using 5 to pound dumbbells. Now they're goblet squatting with, you know, a 70-pound kettlebell or something along those lines. They might not have seen the physical progress that they wanted. They might have not lost a certain amount of weight that they wanted, but I'm like, not yet. You're gonna get there, I promise. But these strength gains are going to make a huge difference. I have clients that say, I was rolling the pool cover on and off for the first time. I don't have a pool, so I don't know how that works. But and she said, I've never been able to help my husband do that before, and I can now. Okay, well, that's a huge win in and of itself. You know, she might not have felt like she couldn't walk after a workout, but look what she can do in everyday lifestyle now. And like both of us preach, it has to be a long-term lifestyle thing. You're not doing, you know, a diet. That's not a thing. It's a lifelong process. You're not doing some sort of, you know, I teach boot camps, but it's not like a typical boot camp. You need to make sure that your workouts and what you're eating are geared toward that long-term lifestyle. So, I mean, I think that as long as you keep moving in the right direction, you're seeing changes in everything that you do, not just in and out of the gym, then you know that you're getting good workouts. Yes, I want to sweat during some workouts. Yes, I want to feel like toasted after some workouts. Great, I make sure that I have those in there as well, but I don't make every workout like that, because then you're not recovered for your next one, and then there's no benefit out of that one either. So it's finding a balance, that's all. Yeah, definitely, So again, it's not inherently wrong to feel tired or sweaty or sore. We just don't want it to be the main objective. So like a lot of the things Samantha was saying, looking at how's my quality of life? Can I lift luggage overhead in a plane a little bit easier? If I'm carrying groceries, can I do it in a few less trips, which is why we all really lift. Always.
Do it in one trip.
Always one trip.
So looking at a lot of those metrics that are outside of the gym. So do my clothes fit a little bit differently? Is that quality of life a little bit better? Am I sleeping better? Reduce stress. And I think the challenging part about a lot of these metrics is they're not immediate, right? So if we wanted, we could both be trashed in a workout right now in the next 5 minutes by just doing a ton of burpees and split squats and whatever. So it gives us that quick feedback. So admittedly, it is tough to be patient, to wait for those other metrics to render themselves, but it's worth it. You know, it is absolutely worth it when you do it. So going back to the time issue, and when you can only get a quick workout in, one of the easiest ways to get something in consistently is to do a bodyweight workout. So we're going to pause the video for a minute, and then we're going to run through a sample bodyweight workout that you can do, whether it's, in Sam's case, before or after session, whether it is here, we have a few minutes on a field to knock a workout up before we get back to our days, something like this. That way you can not break momentum and continue to be consistent.
Yay, sounds good.
Alright, so as promised, we are going to run through a quick bodyweight workout, very similar to what you'll actually see in the back of the PDF in the vacation workouts that we give our members. We're going to show you what it actually looks like to execute it well. I have Sam here to coach me through each of the exercise. We're going to run through a glute bridge, a bodyweight squat, a band pull apart, a push-up, and a partner pallet press, and we'll show you what that looks like because that's a little different at the end. So we're going to start things off with the glute bridge. Sam's going to show me how it's done, so how would you recommend I set up for this?
I'll lie down this way.
On the floor. Let's make sure I'm still in the frame. Okay. Starting off here. Where do I take it from here?
Back flat against the ground. Feet flat on the floor, knees flat. Good. Then you're make sure that you're initiating with your hips. So your hips are coming off. A lot of people will use their back first to lift off the ground. You need to make sure that core is engaged, stomach is nice and flat. So I always say push your belly button down into the floor. You'll make that, your arch in your back will go away. And then it's initiating with your glutes. Hips come all the way up toward the ceiling. Don't assist. And then hold that, a good glute squeeze the butt all the way up, and then lower back down. Good, that would be one. And then back up again. Good, squeeze. Make sure that your knees also aren't coming in. A lot of people will do the glute bridge and their knees will come in this way. You want to make sure that they're pushing out over like that pinky toe area. Good, a couple more. Good, bridging up and down. Make sure that you breathe through it. A lot of people hold their breath. You don't want to do that. Good.
Already feeling it. Sweet. Alright, so yeah, you can start with the glute, we'll shoot back up a little bit. Yeah, so you can start with the glute bridge and you can superset, which as you know just means pair with a bodyweight squat. So now Sam's going to coach me through how to squat.
Good, we'll do two angles. Well, first one we'll do front.
Got it.
Good. So then make sure that you're leading with your hips. So a lot of people will come forward here. Hips are coming back and then you're sitting back into a chair. So hips come back, chest stays upright. Good, come back, come back, come back. Notice how his knees are staying straight, they're not diving in. Good, chest up a little taller. Good, and then back up. Core is engaged. You also don't want to have that arch in your back. Good. Then back up. You can turn to the side. Good, same thing. See how core is engaged and back isn't arched. If his core isn't engaged, he's going to have more of this arch back position and his chest will drop as well. So when your chest is up, core is engaged, it gets rid of that. Hips drop nice and low and then he can stand back up from there. Good, a couple more. Come on, get that in.
I can do it.
Good. Turn this a little bit more. Good. Nice job.
So I'm glad Sam mentioned the foot position there. I don't know if you can see that, but my right foot started turning out. And a lot of times your entire leg will mirror whatever your foot does. So it's easy to be mindless with the lower body exercise and kind of have our feet doing whatever. But if my knee was coming in, a lot of times it's because my foot position is coming in. So paying attention to those outer limbs, making sure that they are in line to make sure the rest of our joints are in line. I'm out of shape because I'm already out of breath from 3 bridges and 3 squats. But we are going to move on now to a band pull apart. So again, you compare the bridge and the squat, alternate a few sets of each, 10 and 12 is plenty. And now we'll move on to the pull apart. So how would you recommend setting up for this?
So for pull aparts, you can either have a band like this, or a band like this as well. So it's either a flat resistance band or one of these circle resistance bands. These ones give you a little bit more resistance, so you can either do hold one side like this, or you can pair up and hold both sides this way if you need more resistance. This one's kind of thick, but if you hold it that way,
sure.
Same thing, core is engaged. He's going to squeeze the shoulder blades back. So he's setting his chest out, shoulder blades down and back. Then he's going to pull back. Make sure that's a slow and controlled movement in and out. You don't want to let it sling back and forth. So controlled movement, his chest is out, core is always engaged, hips tight underneath you. Good. And then if you turn and face this way too, they can see your shoulder blades. So watch his scaps retract right here. You can see them come in and out. So when they come out, and he's slowly engaging in, pinching there, and arms come out nice and straight.
Already feeling that one too. Awesome. So pull apart is something you generally do in a slightly higher rep range. So 12 to 15 on this, and as an upper back exercise, it generally makes sense to superset it with something that's a press. So now we're going to go over a push-up, everybody's favorite, I know. So let's go over a push-up. Show me how we tackle this.
Shoot
it back a little bit.
There you go, right there.
Should be in it now. Okay, cool.
Alright, so hands on the ground, make sure that shoulders are always over wrists. So you don't want to be far out here, you don't want to be back here either. Shoulders always over wrists. Core is engaged, glutes engaged, and I like to press my toes down into the ground as well. It'll activate more of your legs and full body. So first I start with my chest all the way back, so you're pushing your shoulder blades all the way out, and then you start to engage here. Then elbows are coming back at about a 45-degree angle. Chest and hips move at the same time down toward the ground. Good, and then push full body straight back up. Good. You'll notice that his hips don't sag either. They stay at the same level position the whole time. Good. Two more. Also notice his head position. He doesn't let the neck drop in and out. His head isn't also looking forward, so you don't want to be this way either. Head is nice and neutral and in line, and it helps that whole body move at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. So similar to what we were talking about with the feet in terms of how it will dictate what the rest of your body does. Sam mentioned head position. If my head was pulled up like this, a lot of times it lends itself to a big arch in the lower back. Whereas if my head was reaching forward like this, a lot of times it doesn't allow me to get a full range of motion. So you want to make sure you pay attention to what we would think of as the little things, because they can dictate what the big things are doing and how much those matter. Wow, I need a little more cardio. And we're going to finish with a partner pallet press, which is an anti-rotational core exercise, which is a fancy way of saying it strengthens your oblique area, so your muscles on the side. It can actually help prevent lower back injury. So walk me through a pallet press.
So I'll hold on to this side here.
Got it.
He's going to hold with, I like one hand on top of the other.
Okay.
Some people like this way, whatever works for you.
Sure, yeah.
I'll hold it nice and tight up against my body. And what he's going to do is he's going to take midline of his chest, the band in his hands are going to start there. It's going to press straight out in front. So what the band is going to want to do is it's going to want to pull him in this way, and he's going to go against that. So he's going to make sure that he stays in the whole time. It's coming in and out straight out from his chest. Good. Core is engaged here as well. We want to make sure that we're not arching our back. Core is in, holding everything in tight, breathing in and out. And then you want to make sure that you address both sides. So a lot of people only pal off on one side. Okay, well, we're only really working one side. Now I got to address the other.
Around. Actually, let's do this one from the side angle too. That's okay.
Notice chest is engaged, back is nice and straight, core is engaged, hips underneath the shoulders, pressing in and out that way. Good.
Yeah. So one of the things that's worth mentioning on this exercise is a lot of people under the false impression that every single ab exercise needs to generate this really intense burn, and like, I'm not feeling it. This one you may feel in your shoulders a little bit, could feel in your hips a little bit, feel in your obliques, abs, that's okay. Going back to what we were saying before, we don't have to define success on a workout or an exercise. Am I getting an intense burn? Is this trashing me? On this, the objective is, the objective is just, can I press straight forward without rotating to the side? And that's the metric of success here. So again, just don't fall into that trap of thinking, I don't really feel it, it's not working. Trust me, this one is working. This one is working. So to kind of recap this workout, you would run through the glute bridges, the squats, you would alternate those back and forth. Depending on your time, like if we had 10 minutes to do this, we could do one set of everything, because again, something's better than nothing. But generally, let's say 2 to 3 sets of each, run through 10 to 12 reps, move on to the superset of the band pull apart and the push-up. If you have a hard time doing a push-up on the ground, which is completely normal because you're handling 70% of your body weight at the bottom of a push-up, you can just move to an elevated version. So we have bleachers behind us here. You could do it on bleachers, you could do it on a trash can, you could do it on the back of a couch, fence, anything that gets you up a little bit. And then you can finish with the pallet press, so doing 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps per side is a good spot to be in. And again, something like this you can adjust. We could make this a 5-minute workout if that's all we had today. We could also make it 25 if we wanted to do 4 sets of everything. So yeah, there's a sample bodyweight workout coached by my good friend and very elite trainer, Samantha McChesney. Thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.